Kit Kats can read.
Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome to another reaction video. This video I'm going to be reacting to my Big May book haul from 2013. So, 6 years ago, I look a bit sunburnt in this one compared to today where it's just very overcast. But we're going to be watching this together. You'll see a picture over here. You'll also see a score at the bottom of read and unread. I will give you a thumbs up if I've read it. I'll give you a thumbs down if I haven't read it. And if I'm not sure, I won't react at all, and you'll just see the counter at the bottom when I just research on Goodreads whether I have read it, because it's been so long since then that sometimes there's books where I'm just like, shit, did I read that? Because, you know, when you read so many books and blah 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 blah. So I'm going to push play in 3, 2, 1. Books that I'm going to show you are the first two books in the Body Finder series by Kimberly Derting. I've been wanting these books for ages, and hopefully if I like the first and the second book, then I will purchase the rest. The next book I got for review is The Kissing Booth, and this is by Beth Reekles. I'm not entirely sure how her surname is pronounced. This book sounds really awesome, and it seems like there's some sort of romance. You can tell from the front cover it's going to be some sort of guilty pleasure romance. Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Lily Taylor. I absolutely freaking love this cover so much. It's a hardcover as well, and pretty much brand new condition. I think it was used like new from a sale on Amazon, and for the price, you will be surprised, £2.81 including postage. Absolutely out of this world. I have heard really good things about it. I believe it's about some girl called Carew, and she sort of lives half in one world and then half in this place called Elsewhere, so it sounds really amazing. I remember when reading the synopsis I was like, that sounds freaking awesome. The next clump of books are review copies, and I've got quite a few from the first publisher here. I'm just going to show you the first and the second book as they are together in a series thing. And the first book's Insignia, the second book is Vortex, and they are by S.J. Kincaid. And I absolutely love these covers of these books. And if you look in the light there, you can see an effect there of 0 and 1 as you see in the glare there. I think that's freaking amazing. I absolutely love these covers. I don't know too much what these are about, but I believe it's about a boy called Tom and something about being recruited to being a competent one of the elite group of teen soldiers chosen for their unique virtual reality skills to fight World War III in space. The Beautiful and the Cursed, and it's by Paige Morgan. That cover seems interesting. I always thought gargoyles are kind of weird things anyway, but like they're also like interesting because they're like stone monsters. Ingrid and her sister Gabriella, they move to Paris determined to find their beloved brother because he disappears, and instead their world turns upside down because they're drawn into a terrifying underworld, and they're watched over by two people called Luke and Nolan, and they are like handsome protectors. And it just says here, among the Gothic streets and alleys of the 19th century Paris, otherworldly secrets, deadly attractions and hidden powers stalk Ingrid and Gabriella, and love is found in the most unexpected ways. A thrilling and forbidden romance. Death and Co. And it's by DJ McCoon. And oh my god, the synopsis is really interesting. I'm super excited about reading this one, but it's about Adam, and he's what's called a lumen, and basically he sort of guides spirits from the hinterlands into the afterlife, and he just wants to be a normal person, but obviously his role as a lumen is important, and there's some sort of building power that's inside him, so he has to sort of decide, you know, whether he should break the rules or whether he should obviously be a lumen. Angel Dust, and it's by Sarah Musi or Musi, not sure how that's pronounced, but love that cover. She's got a really gothic face there, but basically Seraphina, she's meant to be one of God's finest, brightest angels, and she's meant to collect the soul of some gangster guy, and he's just not repenting at all. He is bound to go to hell sort of thing, but it just says here, like, one look at him undoes her, how far will she go to save the boy she loves? So it looks like it's going to be some sort of like romance between this gangster guy and the girl, but I love things like that, like romances between humans and angels. Oh yes. Oh my gosh guys, when this book just like came in the post, I wasn't expecting it at all, but I just opened up the package and I was like, oh my gosh, seriously, I'm super excited about this book. I read the first book in the trilogy and I absolutely loved it so much. But this book is Goddess, it's by Josephine Angelini. Absolutely love that cover there. There's the third book in the trilogy of the Star-Crossed trilogy, and yeah, I've got the second book. I need to get around to reading it, but now I've got the third book. I will get around to reading it pretty soon, hopefully. I'm super excited. I absolutely freaking love the first book. But it's about gods and goddesses and a forbidden romance that's just like happened to the first book, and I was just like, oh, because there was just this girl and this guy, and like you just wanted them to get together, and then just sort of like, you know, they couldn't, and then when they did, it was just like, oh, amazing, and that's just why I loved it. But I'm super excited to carry on that series when I get to it. The Madman's Daughter, and it is by Megan Shepherd, and it just sounds like something about some daughter of a madman, and the year is 1894 in London, so I'm really intrigued about this. This next book I'm super excited for. It's called Icons. It's by Margaret Stoll. She obviously helped co-write the Beautiful Creatures series along with Cameron Garcia. However, this is her own novel, and I believe it's about these things called icons and some sort of war that the Earth didn't know it was fighting. This person called Dole, their family has suddenly dropped dead, and somehow they are special because they are a survivor and they want to know why. Dying to Know You, it's by Aidan Chambers, and this is about a guy that's into a girl and she wants him to bare his soul to her through writing, but he feels like he can't write something quite good enough for her because she's into books and stuff like that. So it seems like it's going to be one of those sweet romantic books. The next book I'm super excited for because I have read the first book and I absolutely loved and adored it, and this is a sequel, As You Wake. It's by Amy Martin, and she sent this book to me in exchange for a review, and I'm looking forward to this one because I just adored the first book so much. It was a favourite of this year, and I just want to dive into this to continue the story. If you want to know more about what the first book is about, I will leave the video review that I did to it in the description box below, but it is so amazing, like the characters and everything. And then I've got the second book in the Chocolate Box Girl series. It's by Kathy Cassidy, and this one is called Marshmallows Guy, and it seems like one of those girly series. I got the first and the third book in an ebook format, and this was only sold for like £2.30 on Amazon. Literally jumped in the air when I received it, and it's the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It's the comic manga, and that game is just one of my ultimate favourite games like ever. Seriously, if you haven't played it, you need to go play it. It's just amazing and awesome, and I'm just super excited because I love the storyline behind the game, and it's just amazing. So I'm looking forward to reading this manga version of it, and I just know that I'm going to love it so much. The next manga I want to talk to you about is The School for Good and Evil, and this is by Summer Giannini, and the illustrations are by Jacopo Bruno. I will just show you that picture there. Look at that gorgeous picture there. Love that. And this is like another sort of manga thing. Cocoa Caramel, it's by Kathy Cassidy. It's the fourth book in the Chocolate Box series. And I showed you the second book which I purchased, and I also have the first and the third in ebook formats. So I'm looking forward to starting this series. This book's not released until the 6th of June, so I'm super excited about this series, and I'm looking forward to a really girly read soon. It's Dusk by Eve Edwards, and this is going to be like a wartime romance between the characters Helen and Sebastian. Sebastian basically goes off to war, and then there's just like this sweet romance between them. Sarah Dessen's The Moon and More, and this is another YA romance teen read thingamajiggy. I'm looking forward to this because Sarah Dessen's pretty cool. Oh, The Truth That's in Me, it's by Julie Berry, and this one is pretty interesting. I will just read you on that quickly. Judith can't speak ever since the horrifying trauma that left her best friend dead, and Judith without her tongue. She's been a pariah in a close-knit community of Roswell Station. All she can do is silently pour out her thoughts and feelings to the love of her life, Lucas. But when Roswell Station is attacked by enemies, long-built secrets come to light, and Judith's world starts to shift on its axes. She's then forced to choose, continue to live in silence or recover her voice, even if what she has to say might change her world forever. The Testing, and this is by Joel Charbonneau. Yeah. And this is meant to be a book where if you've read The Hunger Games and you loved it, then you will like this. I'll just read you the back of this one as well. Every year, the United Commonwealth invites top graduates from each colony to participate in the testing. Successful candidates will go on to the university and help the government to rebuild our war-stricken world. This process is not optional. Bit of an addiction of mine as of late. I've started watching the TV show. I never got a chance to watch it when I was younger because it was at a time when it was on TV when everyone wanted to watch TV and their priorities went more over mine. But I saw it around and never got a chance to watch it, and I've just been watching it lately and I've been so addicted to it and I'm loving it so much at the moment. And that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This book is volume number 1. You can see that one there. And I'll just show you up there, those are the people who have written it together. And this is, just when I saw it in the shop, I just went, mine. Addiction over, I'm now going to move on to 2 books that I managed to find in the clearance section of Waterstones. And the first one I'm really surprised because there's nothing actually wrong with it. It's in pretty damn new condition, but this is the Wolf Springs Chronicles Unleashed. It's book number 1, and this is by Nancy Holder and Debbie Figuier. That hurt my throat just pronouncing that. This is about a person that goes to a place called Wolf Springs High. That's quite hard to say, and there's something about this family. It says on the back it is the Fenner family, and there's something mysterious about them. And this girl, she can't help but being drawn towards this family, yet there is something secret about this family. It's the Red Pyramid, and it's by Rick Riordan. He writes the Heroes of Olympus series and the other one. He's written quite a few series. I just know that this is like one of those spin-off series and it's book number 1 in it, and I just heard that his series are just so fantastic, and I just saw this, I couldn't escape from the shop without getting it, especially because it was half price, and there's nothing wrong with it apart from there's like a small little tear there, but I don't really care. Every book needs a home, and that's why I got it. The originals, and it's by Kat Patrick, and I have seen this, and I know that Kate from Kate's Book Club, she's read this and she says it's really good. And I do have Kat Patrick's other books, Forgotten and Revived, and they sound amazing. I haven't read them, but they sound really cool, and this book sounds really cool as well. It's about Ella Betsy and this other girl. They are like sisters, they're like triplets, except they're like split into 3, and then one of them ends up falling in love, but except they can't fall in love because that would mean that they would have to be themselves, but they can't. So it sounds complicated, but it does sound really good at the same time. Fifth Wave, and this is by Rick Yancey, and I have just heard so many good things, and I really like the front cover. The sunset in the woods, romantic, romantic, but I just read to you this little splurgy circle there at the back. The first wave took out 500,000 people, the second wave put that number to shame, the third wave lasted a little longer, 12 weeks, 4 billion dead, in the fourth wave you can't trust that people are still people, and the fifth wave, no one knows, but it's coming. It does sound really cool. The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. I haven't actually read this series before, it's the Chaos Walking series. I've seen it around and I have heard mixed things about it, and it's one of those books where I've just been ignoring every time I see it. I'm just like, oh, there it is. And I've seen this edition as well. This is kind of like a new edition of the book that's out, and there's other editions of the other 2 books there, but I actually kind of like this edition because of like the glary bit there that's off the sword, so it's a pretty cool cover, so I like this one. So when I received this in the mail, it's kind of like the publisher is telling me to read it, so hopefully I do like it. On the back it does say, everyone can hear everyone else's thoughts in a constant, overwhelming, never-ending noise. There is no privacy and there are no secrets. Wild Boy, and this is by Rob Lloyd-Jones, and this is about one of those boys that are like a freak. They are made into a monster, and it's one of those carnival things where people obviously pay to see the monster. Black Helicopters. This is by Blythe Alston, and this is about someone called Valkyrie, and it says here no records of Valley exist. Her life has been kept secret so that she can be used to fight her father's paranoid war. But it says that I'm Valkyrie White, I'm 50 and the government killed my family. That was a long book haul and very painful. It was very awkward because I kind of failed. To be honest, I really did fail that month. So yeah, there was just so many. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24 books in that book haul that I have not read yet. And I think I'd only read quite a few, but like I said, the numbers will be here. But it feels like that was a fail of a month of books that I've read. So the books are in the journal, which are here. I've got a year to try and get them read, and I'll review it if I've got it read or not, and then I can decide if I'm going to keep it or if I'm going to unhaul it, if I'm ever going to read it, that sort of thing. And I think it would be good to give me a year's notice to look through these books in this journal and prioritise the ones that I really do want to read over the others. But it's good that I've taken note of these books, that I am aware that there are some books that I haven't read yet, that 6 years later I still haven't read yet, and you know, just gonna go from there. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I hope you have enjoyed it. Let me know down below if there's any books that you still haven't got around to reading yet, that you still feel guilty that you haven't read yet, and that sort of thing, and we can talk about it. But that's it from me, guys. Thank you very much for watching my video. As always, all of my social media links will be linked down below in the description if you'd like to follow me elsewhere. Keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. My name is Katie, and I'll see all of you wonderful, awesome people in my next video. Bye!